You should consider selling locally instead of selling internationally or even selling only in the US, for example. First of all is overcoming liability of foreigners. And liability of foreigners basically means that you automatically have some disadvantages if you sell in a country that is not your own. And it's not that strong if you live in Germany, for example, and sell in Switzerland. But if you live in Sweden and sell in the US only, there are some problems that relate to customer support hotlines. So if they want to call you from the US to Sweden, there are some problems with it, different time zones, maybe some language problems. I mean, it sounds a little crazy, but actually some of my clients barely could speak English well enough to yeah, really respond to customer emails. And of course, if you don't know how to speak English very, very well, you will have some problems, because if customers email you and you answer back with very, very bad English, they think, what's going on here? I mean, I'm buying in the store and the people cannot even respond properly. And this shouldn't sound offensive now, but I really made the experience that people who are not able to write and speak English well sold in the US only or in the UK only, and this automatically brings in some problems. The second thing is trends. And if you sell in the US, chances are that the trends arrive there earlier than in your country. For example, I sell mainly in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, but I always stay in Europe, at least with my own stores and my own Amazon sellings and so on. So I'm also involved with clients and partners in stores outside the US, but myself I only do outside Europe, but myself I only do Europe. And I realized that a lot of trends arrive here much later than in the US, for example. So if you only sell in the US, there are a lot of trends going on already, and you are just one among a lot of others who competes there for this new trend. But if you stick in your own country, a lot of trends are still emerging. So I realized in Germany that a lot of product trends that I see on different websites and platforms such as Alibaba, DHgate, and global sources, that they don't arrive here that quickly. So if you really stay in your local country and in your local market, chances are that you can easier profit from these product trends than if you go into overcrowded markets such as the US or the United Kingdom. And the third thing pretty much relates to the second one, and it's competition. Because if you sell in the US, what like 80% of all people that I work with do, you automatically have huge competition in almost any niche and any field. So it doesn't matter if you're doing very, very related stuff for just a single dog race, which a lot of people do, you automatically have at least 20 other stores which also sell products for this particular dog breed, dog race. It's totally different here in Germany. If you sell something that is very, very niche specific, chances are that there is not even one single store selling the same thing. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, I launched with my partner 2 different stores with 2 different one product niche stores, and both of them barely have any competition in form of a real store. I mean, of course, you can find the products on Amazon and on eBay here and there, but there is still no store around this product and which markets the product accordingly. So if you live in a country where these trends arrive a little bit later, this can be a really, really awesome thing because you have way less competition. And I mean, people tend to say that they sell on a worldwide scale, or they sell only in the US because they have bigger potential in the bigger market. This is true, but a bigger market in this case usually means that you just have way more competition. So I'd rather stay in Germany with 82 million people and maybe 20 competitors or 10 competitors instead of in the US with 330 million people, but maybe 500 competitors or 1,000 competitors. So it always depends. I realized that there are some countries where it doesn't make that much sense to sell specific items. So I also had clients who said, I don't sell in my country because simply the population does not have enough money to buy my products, which are relatively expensive. And yes, of course, in this case, you really have to think about selling somewhere else if that really doesn't make sense. But for a lot of countries, especially in Europe and also in many other countries, it can be worth it to just try it in your own country and check it out there. You have a lot of advantages if you sell in your own country. Yeah, you should definitely try it out. And one last thing that people might say now is that a lot of product shipment, a lot of orders will only arrive at least decently in time in the US. So the e-packet 12 to 20 days to the US, but to many European countries it's still 30, 40 days. Yeah, that is a problem, especially if you dropship. I mean, I also do a lot of non-dropshipping, therefore it's no problem. But if you dropship, this can be a big problem. But many suppliers also have different warehouses all over the world. So I remember when I sold a product via dropshipping a few months ago, we bought some of them in stock, and then they quickly we sold all of them, and we didn't have any products. And what we did is we talked with the supplier, and he told us that he now has a warehouse in Spain. So we basically were able to sell products that we could basically drop ship products from this supplier because he has a warehouse in Spain and we sell in Germany. So shipping was like 2 to 4 days, which includes processing already. So it was very fast for drop shipping. And of course, this is not the case everywhere. Not all the suppliers have warehouses all over the world. But if you really do some research, you will also find some products that you can source pretty much locally already. So a lot of suppliers have warehouses at least in your, for example, if you're in Germany, a lot of suppliers have warehouses in Spain or France. And this is the same for many countries. So if you really talk with the suppliers, if they have more warehouses, of course they don't have the whole product selection in these warehouses, but at least some of the best-selling products they also have there. So check it out. Also check out other product sourcing platforms, like I told you in some of my videos already. Don't always stick to AliExpress only. Check the HGate, check Alibaba, check global sources. Also do some Google research for certain products, and then I'm sure that you will find the product that you can sell in your own country or in a neighbor country or whatever, because things are way easier usually if you do it this way. I hope there was some information for you in there, and I hope that you can use it. Just let me know if you have any questions about this topic, and I wish you good luck with maybe your next locally tailored online store.